Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of our Unity idle game. Today we are going to be using PlayerPrefs to save the game data. Now, I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but this episode, what we're basically going to be doing is a really unsecure save system. Next episode, we're going to go into a really secure, basically pretty much unhackable save system. So what you're going to want to do here is we want to open up the script, and let's just open this up here whenever it loads. There we go. We are now now that we've opened up our main game script, we're gonna just want to scroll down a bit, and we're just going to drop down and we're going to say public void. Because we're going to create a new function. It's not going to have any return. It's just going to be save. That's all it's going to be. We're not going to need any arguments or anything. It's just going to be save. And all we're going to say is we're going to be using Unity PlayerPrefs to store our data. It's basically it creates a easily accessible file on your computer. Which can easily be changed, and it basically just stores all your data onto that file. But it pretty much does it all for you. It's really easy to do, but it's also really easy to change the numbers. That's why it's really not secure. It's alright if you're making like an idle, if you're doing it for mobile, if you're making an idle game for mobile, go for PlayerPrefs, because it's quite hard to change on mobile. Still doable, but a lot harder. If you're making it for computers, you know, only certain things really should be PlayerPrefs. So what I mean by certain things is if you've got say you've got a massive multiplayer game, your multiplayer currency is obviously you want to have that stored safely, so they can't, you know, be adjusting their game save in multiplayer especially. So you want that adjusted, you know, really specially. Usually it's saved to like a server sort of. Yeah, usually it's sort of saved to a server, but we're not going to get into that because that's really complicated stuff. So anyway, after saying public void save, we are going to then say PlayerPrefs dot and then set. Here we're going to be setting an integer. Set int, and then open brackets. Now I'm going to explain this in a minute, but first we just want to save our money, which is actually a double, but we're going to set. So because we can't set a double as an integer, we're going to say set string, and then open brackets, and then here you want the actual string. This string is going to be, I'm just going to call this money. That is going to be, this isn't the name of the variable, this is just the actual string name. We go to a comma, and then the actual value that you want to save, which in our case is money. But then we want to convert that from a double to a string, so we're going to say .toString to convert it. We don't need to put any F's in it to round it at all. Just convert it straight to string and then semicolon. Now what this is saying is it is accessing the PlayerPrefs, once again Unity's way of storing data, built-in feature to store data. And then we're setting a string because we can't use setting because basically money's a double, it's not an integer. So we're setting a string to the PlayerPrefs. We're creating a string called money. That's the name of it. You could just call that if you want, but then you'd have to remember that name because you have to remember that name exactly. And then we're actually setting the value of the name of the string to this value here, which we're then converting to a string. If that makes sense, it should pick up the more you do it. But anyway, next we're going to do PlayerPrefs.set, and then this one is going to be click power. So this one we can do set int. I'm actually going to separate my strings from my ints. And this is going to be click power, comma, and then we're going to call this. I'm just going to call all these the exact same as the variable name. You don't need to, but it's just easy to remember. And then say click power, which you don't need to convert to a string, and then semicolon. Now the difference here is because this is a uint, so we're trying to convert from a uint to an int. So I believe we can just say int like so. And then it will save as an int. What this does here is it basically casts. This is actually doing is it's casting an integer to the click power. So it's basically converting the uint, so the integer that can't go into negative, into an integer that can. And then when we load it, we'll convert it back. Now, what we're going to say is, we're going to say, okay, now all we've got to save is these two things here. So we're now going to go back down to our set string. We're going to say PlayerPrefs.setString. This one is going to be our, I'm just going to copy that. It's going to be our click upgrade price. And we're going to save that dot to string. There we go. And now once we're going to do one more, which is PlayerPrefs.set int. This one will be. And here we're going to set this to the level. So we're going to call this click upgrade level, comma, and then cast it to an integer again, and boom, that's it. Now we need to actually call this. So if we just go to our void update, we can then just say save, and then every frame it's going to save. Not the most optimized, but we're going to go over optimization in another video. We're also going to be using a different save method in the series as well. But anyway, now we want to load our game, so we're going to create public void. This is actually going to be a private void load. Private because it doesn't need to be accessed from any other scripts. So, yeah, as I say, we're making it private because we don't need to, so they don't actually need to be public. If you wanted to completely, if you want, you can just completely remove the private bit, and then it'll still count as private, but it won't have the private in it. So there you are. Now what we could say is in the load, if you want, let's start with our money. We're gonna say money equals, because we want to change our actual money variable. So now we want to get the PlayerPrefs dot get string. Now we're gonna get our money string, which we add up here, and because we want to set our actual money currency to this string. So once again, the string name is money. It's really important that these two are named the exact same thing, because if they're not, it won't work. And then here do comma, and then this is going to be the default value of money. So because this is a string, we're going to do quotation marks 0, then quotation marks, and then a semicolon. Oh no, sorry, no we're not, because cannot convert that string to double. Oh no, sorry, what we want to do here is, this is correct, we want to put quotation marks in 0 because that's our default value for money. And obviously because it's currently a string, we have to do the quotation marks. But we actually want to do double dot pass right at the beginning, open bracket, and then close right at the end of the PlayerPrefs. Because our money's a double, what this does is it basically just converts this back to a double. That's all that really does. Okay, so now that we've done this, what this is going to do is it's going to set the money back to what it was now. So let's quickly try. So first of all, actually, no. What we're going to want to do, we can remove these little slashes and stars from our void start now, because we can bring this back. This, I'm just going to do // there. There we go. Right, now we can have our start, and on start we're just going to call load. We just want to load our game. Now if we save that, head back over to Unity, let it compile, and when it compiles, we're not going to have to change anything in the game handler. This all's fine. We just click play, and instantly we got our money. Let's do a few clicks. We have 8 money, right? We click off the game, we come back, and our money loads, which is really cool. So that's the basics of our saving. So now we're just going to go do this for everything. So I'm just going to completely copy this line of code, drop down, and here I'm going to say click upgrade price is going to be equal to, and then just copy these from over here, and then the default here once again is 0. Next, I'm going to drop down, and this one's going to be slightly different. This one's just going to be click power, click power equals, and we're not going to need the double dot pass here, because the reason for that is because our click power isn't a double, it's just an integer, so we don't actually need to, all we need to do here is dot get in. and then it will be click power, and then the default is, we don't need quotation marks around this because it's not a string, it's just a number. So the default is actually 1 on our click power if you remember correctly. What's wrong here? Int to uint. Oh, okay. So what we've got to do is, I think we have to. I think we can. If we say int, I think that would. No. Okay. So let's say int and then open bracket and close bracket. Would that work? No, not like that. Sorry, it would be int. So you'd do open bracket in and then close bracket. It would be uint. Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do is open bracket, type in uint, close the bracket right in front of the PlayerPrefs, and then that is going to convert it to basically a uint. Now we're going to save that. Now we've got one more to do. I'm just going to copy that. So I think it's another uint, which is where is it? Click upgrade level. Yep. So I'm just going to get this, and here I'm going to say click upgrade level. And then this one's going to be click upgrade level, which is here. Paste that, and then the default level 0. Save that, and now everything should save. So if we run this now, everything we have should save. So we got 617 money. Let's get a couple of these. We have 3 click power, level 2. Our price is 12. Let's stop. Let's rerun. There we go. Our price is still 12. We've still got our click power and our level still 2. Just what you want to see. So that's the basics of our saving and loading. And the next episode we're going to make this more advanced, a really advanced script for it. So it's way more secure, more encrypted, and it's also, we're going to be using binary formatting as well. We'll get into that next episode though, but that's all I wanted to show you for this one. So thanks for watching this episode, everyone. One last thing I'm going to quickly do. Actually, no, I'm not. I was going to save my scene, but you lot can do that yourself. You just do file and save as, and it'll save your scene, and you can call your scene something else. But anyway, thanks for watching this episode, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. If you have any queries, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe. And thank you for watching, and bye.